So what's up YouTube? In today's video, I'm going to get into how to effectively review someone else's code. So my name is Kenny, I'm a senior iOS engineer. And for those that's new to the channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button below. Also hit the like button, it helps out the channel. And without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the video. Now you're probably wondering, like, why in the world would you make a video around reviewing someone else's code? That's kind of easy to do. Yeah, it seems easy, but there are a lot of good and bad practices when it comes down to reviewing someone else's code. And from my experience, I've seen a lot of people review people's code and they just leave bad comments. They don't do things correctly. And I just want to give a good overview so everyone, at least who sees this, knows what's the best way to give someone a good and effective code review and what things you should do and should not do when it comes down to reviewing someone else's code. So what we'll be on next is getting into that. So let's go ahead and get started. So for this review, we're just gonna go through and just gonna review this old code that I wrote for this old Pokemon app. This was way before I even had a job as an iOS engineer. And what I'm gonna do is really just show you guys what's the best way to, review someone else's code, what type of comments you should leave on their pull request. I'm not gonna go overboard on my pull request because I know that I was super junior. But I'm gonna go through and just show you guys what things you should do versus you should not do when it comes down to doing a pull request, and when it comes down to leaving comments. So it's maybe funny to some people, but it's just giving you a good reaction of what I see. All right, so first thing first, I'm gonna review this first file here, and let's see what we have here. So first thing that stands out to me is the fact that I have IB outlets, and they seem to be public, which at this current moment in time, I think they probably should be private. Usually you don't want your outlets to be public. So something you would not want to do is write a comment like this, like, why is this not private? That's not a good way to leave a comment. What you should do is probably something that's a little more helpful, or something that's more so like, I think these should be private, and leave a comment like that. That's a little nicer. You can leave that. And then for the second one, we notice it's the same thing. And we can just, say ditto, or we can just say same as above. Let's just write that. Add that comment. Also, I noticed that this class isn't set to final. Now, because this person is junior, they may have no earthly idea what the heck final really is when it comes down to a class. So what I might do here is maybe I'll leave a reference to, an article or a video or something like that that may be impactful for them. So let me go ahead and just leave a comment like that. So let's say something like, I think this class should, my typing is bad here, should be final. And then I can just, leave more information around it. Saying that it's not inheriting from another class or anything like that. So I just say it should be final. Here is some reference material for you. And then from here, I may, copy the link that I have and then paste that here. So that may be helpful to them, and then let's go ahead and the rest of the information in this file seems to be okay. So we're not gonna bug out too much around the rest of this. Everything else looks good. Also when leaving comments, if you see something that looks great, go ahead and leave, a comment around something that looks really, really good. So for this class, they obviously did the same exact thing. They could have made this final, but we're not gonna pay attention to this for the sake of the video. Let's see here. It did the same thing here. Another big key component here is you notice that these UI collection view delegates and this other stuff here, this probably should be more so in an extension on the actual class itself versus actually being inherited inside of the actual large portion of the class. There's just a iOS thing that we pretty much do. So I can write, can we please move these over to extensions? So let me write that here. I'll just leave it like that. Now these are not bad comments by any means, but we do want to give, great feedback around certain things that we do see. So something like this, seeing that this person has parsed this CSV file and everything, what we want to do, although, I'm not the biggest fan of the bang operator sitting here, what we do want to do is, give some great constructive criticism here. So I may leave, like a comment here, something like this, maybe some heart emojis, just congratulate that I like that they're doing this. Love this, man. Add a single comment. Then we can also go through here and, I see that, we have some white space. So I might leave a comment asking, can we remove the white space here? And sometimes you can leave one comment like this, and it obviously lets the developer know or engineer know that, hey, if they notice a white space here, there's probably other places we want to get rid of white space. I'll leave the same as that comment here. Can we remove the white space here? So I don't have to write this like everywhere inside of the review. That's kind of annoying. Little things like that. Maybe here we don't want to write a fixed number for the sections. So I could write a comment there. But typically, whenever you're doing a code review, you want to leave helpful comments that helps the engineer, whoever, wrote this code, as well as you want to leave, comments which will make somebody feel happy when they see certain things. So the best thing I would say is lean in forward with leaving positive comments versus a bunch of negative comments. That's not going to help someone when they're, reading through the code and like, oh man, I got like 40 or 50 comments on my PR that's telling me, this is wrong, that's wrong, person's making me feel bad, And the other big thing too is, after you sit there and you leave some comments here and there, especially a few smaller ones, maybe have a one-on-one conversation with the person. If it comes down to it and you see that this person has written some code, but it's not up to the standard or the code quality of the entire application, you may want to have a one-on-one conversation with them just to say like, hey, what you wrote wasn't bad by any means. It's just a few minor tweaks we want to do to, clean the code up to make sure it's up to standard for what the entire application looks like. And then you guys, have a one-off conversation and you just go from there. But you do want to leave a lot of positive comments on someone's PR. Like this CSV class here, you can leave, comments like, I really like this. And go in more detail, like I love the way you handle the parsing in this. That leaves some great, feedback to someone, that's not reviewing, but someone who wrote the code, and it makes them feel, pretty good about, what they have written. And, just kind of go forward from there. And the other smaller comments, you can obviously, leave, but after you leave all your comments, then you can go ahead and, leave an overall review and just say like, hey man, I really, really love this. Just left a few comments on your PR, just to say like, obviously, like I just said, you left a few comments. I left a few comments on your PR. Everything else looks great. Just a few minor tweaks I think we need to clean up here. And I think, I'll go ahead and improve your PR once it's ready to go. And if the person has any back and forth, obviously you guys can have a conversation from there. If it leads to it where you feel like you need to have a one-off conversation, obviously do so. But the biggest thing is here, you just want to make sure you go ahead and leave some constructive criticism, leave good comments for someone, leave helpful tips, and also drop some links here and there. That's also really helpful for someone who, especially they're brand new to programming or they're really new to any type of development per se, where they're trying to go into a lane where they're not, super familiar with. Leave some helpful comments, leave some tutorials. Well, I won't say tutorials, but helpful references. That's a better way of saying it. Don't use tutorials, but leave some helpful references for someone. And yeah, just go from there. And outside of that, that's pretty much it when it comes down to reviewing someone else's code. Again, make sure you be impactful, leave references, but also leave very good positive comments. You know, people who, you know, when it comes down to reviewing someone else's code, you gotta look at it like this. People, when they write code, this is like their art, this is their baby. So you don't wanna just come in like, yo, what the heck is this? This is wrong, don't do this, we don't do this in the code base. This is not good, this is jacked up code. You know, you don't wanna leave any kind of comment or any comments that make a person feel this way. You wanna leave things that's helpful. You wanna leave comments that showcase like, hey, you know, okay, I did a really great job, you know, for where I am, you know, wherever status there is, junior, mid-level, heck, even senior or staff. You know, leave helpful comments, but don't make a person feel beat down over a PR. You know, truly look out and help them out as much as you can. And with that being said, that's pretty much it. I just want to thank you guys for watching the video. This is pretty much a short one, but just want to thank you again for watching the video, and I'll see you in the next one. See ya.